Let's talk about the American dream. The classic story: work hard, buy a house, raise a family, and retire at 65. But for Gen Z, that dream is fading fast. Imagine working for decades only to realize the finish line keeps moving. Gen Z grew up online, survived a pandemic, and learned about money from memes. Now, they're told retirement might be a fantasy. The old promise of a golden retirement. It's starting to look like a mirage. The idea of working 40 years and then stopping sounds more like a fairy tale than a plan. The rules have changed and the system feels rigged. Gen Z is questioning everything. Why save for a future that feels so uncertain? The stakes are high, and the definition of a successful life is up for grabs. For Gen Z, retirement isn't just changing, it's being completely rewritten. Where did the idea of retiring at 65 even come from? For most of history, people worked until they couldn't. Retirement as we know it is a modern invention. Think Bismarck's Germany, where the retirement age was 70. But most people didn't live that long. In the US, Social Security set the bar at 65 during the Great Depression. After World War II, retirement became the American dream: a stable job, a pension, and Social Security. For a while, it worked. Retirement was a reward for a lifetime of work. But people started living longer, the economy changed, and companies realized lifelong pensions were expensive. The three-legged stool, Social Security, pensions, and savings, started wobbling. Companies cut pensions, the middle class shrank, and the promise of retirement became less certain. Now, retirement looks more like a luxury than a guarantee. The old system is crumbling, and the safety net is full of holes. What was once a right is now a privilege. The dream of a secure retirement is slipping away for millions. Let's look at the numbers. Experts say you need at least $1 million to retire, maybe two thanks to inflation. But the median savings for Americans under 35? Just over $3,000. That's not a nest egg. It's barely a safety net. The gap between what you need and what you have is a canyon, and inflation is making it wider. Costs for housing, healthcare, and education are skyrocketing. Even diligent savers feel like they're running uphill on a treadmill. The old advice, save 10% of your income, doesn't work when rent eats half your paycheck. For Gen Z, the math just doesn't add up. The problem isn't effort, it's the size of the hole in the boat. And that hole is getting bigger every year. Gen Z faces a financial gauntlet unlike any before. First, student debt. The average is over $30,000, so they start their careers in the red. The stable 9-to-5 is fading, replaced by gig work. Flexible, but with no benefits or security. Planning for the future is tough when your income changes every month. Housing costs are sky high, with many spending half their income just to keep a roof overhead. Saving for retirement often loses out to paying rent. And faith in Social Security? Practically non-existent. Most expect it to be gone by the time they retire. For Gen Z, Social Security feels more like a tax than a safety net. Debt, unstable work, high costs, and distrust in institutions create a perfect storm. Financial hopelessness isn't a personal failing, it's a systemic problem. The old safety nets are fraying, and Gen Z knows it. It's easy to blame young people for not saving enough, but that's missing the point. This isn't about lattes or budgeting. It's about a system that's changed. Wages have stagnated while costs have soared. The old social contract, loyalty for stability, is gone. Companies now prioritize shareholders, not employees, slashing benefits and pensions. Tax policies favor the wealthy, unions have declined, and Wall Street is riskier than ever. Gen Z isn't bad at saving. The system is stacked against them. The retirement crisis is about policy, not personal responsibility. The rules have been rewritten, and the ladder of opportunity has been pulled up. Building wealth is harder than ever for young people. Systemic problems need systemic solutions, not just better budgeting apps. Let's talk about pensions, the old gold standard. Pensions promised guaranteed income for life, with companies bearing the risk. Now they're nearly extinct, replaced by the 401k. The 401k sounds empowering, but it shifts all the risk to you. You decide how much to save, how to invest, and hope the market doesn't crash. If you mess up, you're on your own. Company matches are nice, but far less generous than old pensions, and many don't offer them at all. Most young workers can't afford to contribute much, if anything. The 401k was meant to supplement pensions, not replace them. Now it's the only leg left, and it's wobbly. Retirement has become a high-stakes individual gamble. For most, the odds are stacked against them. The system always seems to win. Gen Z isn't giving up, they're adapting. The side hustle is now essential, not optional. From gig work to online businesses, they're finding new ways to earn. The FIRE movement, save aggressively, retire early, is gaining traction, even if it's extreme. Some are moving abroad, leveraging remote work to live where costs are lower. They're building their own ladders when the old one broke. It's resilience and creativity in action. But it's also a sign that one job is no longer enough. Gen Z is hacking the system, not waiting for it to fix itself. They're redefining what success looks like. Gen Z is rethinking retirement itself. The old idea, stop working at 65, feels outdated. Why wait for leisure at the end of life? Many now aim for work they love or take mini-retirements throughout life. It's about integrating life and work, not separating them. Wealth is measured in autonomy, flexibility, and purpose, not just dollars. Some choose passion over paychecks, or value freedom over status. Retirement is becoming a gradual transition, not a hard stop. The goal isn't endless leisure, but meaningful engagement at every stage. The dream isn't dead, it's just being redesigned. So here we are, at the crossroads of a broken promise and a new reality. The old maps are useless, and the path forward is uncharted. The real question isn't if Gen Z will retire, but what they'll build instead. They're facing massive barriers, but responding with creativity and resilience. This is about more than money. It's about redefining what a good life means. Gen Z's answers will shape the future for everyone. The old model is broken, and the future is unwritten. There's no single solution, only new possibilities. So what does the future of work and retirement look like to you? In this new world, what's your move? Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us create more content like this for you. See you in the next one.